A river doesn't just disappear overnight. It declines, slowly, then all at once. The water becomes polluted, the flow weakens, ecosystems start to collapse. Eventually, what was once a living system turns into something stagnant, toxic, or completely dry. And when a river dies, the impact spreads far beyond the water itself. Start with the most immediate effect, the loss of life. Rivers support entire ecosystems. Fish, insects, plants, birds, and mammals all depend on flowing water. When pollution increases or oxygen levels drop, aquatic species are often the first to die. This can happen through chemical runoff, industrial waste, or excess nutrients from agriculture. These nutrients can trigger algal blooms, rapid growth of algae that blocks sunlight and consumes oxygen in the water. The result is what's often called a dead zone, an area where most aquatic life cannot survive. Once fish populations collapse, the ripple effect begins. Birds that feed on fish lose a food source. Predators that rely on those birds are affected. The entire food chain destabilizes. Next comes water quality. Rivers are a primary source of fresh water for millions of people. When a river becomes polluted, it's no longer safe for drinking, farming, or even basic use. Communities downstream are often the most affected. They may rely on that water for irrigation, sanitation, and daily life. As quality declines, health risks increase. Waterborne diseases, contamination, and long-term exposure to harmful chemicals. Then there's agriculture. Farmers depend on rivers for irrigation. If a river dries up or becomes too polluted, crop yields drop, soil can degrade, and food production becomes less reliable. In some cases, this leads to economic decline in entire regions. Now consider groundwater. Rivers and underground water systems are connected. When rivers shrink or disappear, groundwater recharge is reduced. This means wells and underground reserves start to decline as well. So, the loss of a river doesn't just remove surface water, it affects hidden water sources too. Another major consequence is temperature. Flowing water helps regulate local climates. Rivers absorb heat, support vegetation, and maintain humidity levels. When a river dies, surrounding areas can become hotter and drier. This increases the risk of drought and reduces the ability of the land to recover. Wetlands, which often depend on rivers, begin to disappear. These ecosystems act as natural filters and buffers. They clean water and reduce flooding. Without them, both water quality and flood risk get worse. Now let's look at human impact more closely. Many cities are built around rivers. Historically, rivers provided transportation, trade routes, and reliable water supply. When those rivers decline, cities face serious challenges. Water shortages become more common. Infrastructure designed for a stable river system no longer works as expected. Economic activity tied to the river, fishing, tourism, and transport declines. In extreme cases, populations may be forced to relocate. There's also a cultural loss. Rivers often hold historical, spiritual, and cultural significance. When they disappear, communities lose more than just a resource. They lose part of their identity. Now, here's something less obvious. Rivers don't just die from one cause. It's usually a combination. Pollution, overuse of water, dam construction, climate change, and land development all contribute. Dams, for example, can block natural flow, disrupt sediment transport, and prevent fish migration. While they provide energy and water storage, they also alter the river system fundamentally. Over-extraction is another major issue. When too much water is taken for agriculture or urban use, the river can't sustain itself. Climate change adds pressure by altering rainfall patterns and increasing evaporation. So what we're seeing is not a single failure, but a system under stress from multiple directions. And once a river reaches a certain point, recovery becomes very difficult. Some rivers can be restored, pollution reduced, flow managed, ecosystems rebuilt, but it takes time, coordination, and significant resources. Others may never fully recover. The key lesson is this.
Rivers are not just water channels. They are dynamic systems that connect ecosystems, economies, and communities. When they fail, everything connected to them feels the impact. And because so much depends on them, their loss is rarely isolated. It spreads outward, affecting far more than what's visible at the surface.